What's up, everybody? This is Caleb Bryce, the GOTFC podcast. Today, who do we have with us today?
Beverly.
Beverly, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Did you have a good day today?
Yeah, I'm ready for it to be done, but yeah, I thought I'd help you out a little bit.
Where is Beverly from?
Well, I was born in Spartanburg. I've lived most of my life up here since I was 13. So I should say I'm from here, but I don't.
And you just had a birthday go by, didn't you?
Yeah, and it went by.
It went by.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people nowadays, they don't celebrate their birthdays.
Well, I celebrated mine with my 88-year-old mama, and you would have thought it was her birthday.
Really?
So she was very happy, and I was glad to give her that for my birthday.
And your mom's you said she's how old now?
88.
88 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You think you'll see 88?
I doubt it.
Yeah. You ain't got no health problems, do you?
Well, if I cough a time or two, you might know I might have a health problem. But no, nothing that I've not done to myself.
What's the coughing from?
Well, I've had a bad habit. I'm a good soul, but I've had a bad habit. But hopefully I'll get past that someday.
Uh-oh.
I'm on my shorter end of days, though, than I was
Mad at you.
a while back. What's that?
Can you do things like you used to? Or things slowing down as you get older? Or?
You know what? Really, I'm not. Now, when I tell people how old I am, they have a hard time believing that. But I've told several people, and they really can't believe how old I am. But now, if y'all guessed my age, and you said I was older, we might have to block you.
Uh-oh.
So, I don't guess we ought to take a poll on that.
About 55?
That sounds real good.
Does that sound good?
That sounds great.
What was your best years if you had to go back in time?
You know, I got in trouble for answering that question one time. My ex asked me, have I seen my best days? Well, when you're my age, of course you've seen your best days.
Right.
But that wasn't the right answer. So, hence the X part. But I believe, you know, it just depends on what day it is. But I generally have a good time. I like my environment. I like who I work with and the people I know today. And so it's all good.
Did you go to college?
I did.
What year did you graduate?
Now that, I think I graduated in the 80s. No, in the 90s. See, that's one thing that comes with age. You can't remember stuff.
Not being able to remember.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
I graduated the 5th grade.
Did you?
Yeah.
And you're a self-made man.
Yep.
I have a lot of respect for that.
The 5th grade. No GED,
You know, I got
no high school diploma.
I got a college degree and never used it a day in my life.
Speaking on that one there, you know there's about, I would say 90% of people go to school for 10 years. And every person I meet that went to school is working somewhere else. They're not even using their degree.
Oh, I know. It's because, you know, used to that's what you did. You went to college as soon as you got out of high school. People don't know what they want to do when they're 18 years old.
They're forced into it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, well, if you were going to get, you have better choices for a majority of people. You do have a better choice at doing things, and I never want to discourage people from going to college.
Right.
But there's so many people in this day and time because there's just,
Well, you can make money doing anything now.
well, you can do that, but you know, people are more into working for themselves, or you just can't.
Or they just text everybody and say, "Can I get $10 and on Cash App?" And next thing you know, they got $100 for the day.
Yeah, you know a little bit about that, don't you?
You know,
Mm-hmm.
people just
Always wanting something for nothing.
something for nothing.
Yeah, but you know, here's a good topic we can talk about. I'm a gay preacher's daughter. How you like that one?
Oh
And
my!
an only child.
Oh wow! You gave your parents a run for their money.
And Southern Baptist. So it was, you know, really
How
for
was-
me to be sitting here is a miracle.
How was it with your parents with that?
It wasn't pretty. But you know what? My daddy had never admit this. Of course, he can't now because he's not with us anymore. But I was 7 years old when I had my first crush. Actually, I was 5, but the one that he found out about was when I was 7. And I had wrote a little letter. I used to think I was so cute to the choir director's daughter. She wasn't, but she was 15 years old and I was 7.
Oh my goodness!
I know, it was my crush. People say, anyway, I had a crush.
And
And I would dress up. I would dress up in my little Izod sweater, and go to church and put my daddy's cologne on before I'd get ready.
Did you know that you liked women then, back then?
I was 5. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. No doubt.
That's crazy.
Well, I believe people are born that way. Not everybody, but I believe people are born that way. Some people
And you just
don't.
stuck with it the whole time, pretty much.
I am what you call a pioneer in these parts,
Uh-oh.
considering what I went through in my time.
Did you wait a while to tell your parents?
I didn't tell my parents. They found out. And from a church member who went to have a discussion about her son with my mama.
Ratted you out.
Ratted me out. So my mother went upstairs and got in my stuff, and I was caught.
Oh, caught red-handed.
It was sad the way that it came out with me. I so, in this day and time, I'm so appreciative of parents and of people that are more accepting and of kids that are more accepting, you know, with each other in this day and time. Because it was not like that. I mean, when I was found out when I was 20, I was trying to buy my first house, and I got disowned, and it was not, I got called at work, of all places,
Really?
to be told of it.
You think people look at you differently that you're gay when you talk to people?
I don't care anymore.
Really?
But yeah, of course I get looks.
Or treat you different, or
I get treated
not-
differently
really?
because of, you know, I'm not the most feminine person in the world, but I get treated differently. Are we getting too technical? But I think that's sad, because here's what happened to me. I struggled for years with that growing up, and struggled with years with that throughout my life. I drank a lot. I did a lot of drugs, and I couldn't accept myself for who I was.
Really?
Hmm. And so I had help from the police, the cops, to go to rehab, and I went to rehab. And I was so angry when I went there. And it was a miracle. As soon as I got there, I knew something was working in my life when we were sitting there getting ready to write the check out, and they said, put your checkbook up. We take one person on scholarship, and you're going to be it.
Wow.
And that was a miracle. It started the miracle of miracles.
The Lord gave you that one, didn't He?
I like to believe a power greater than me did that for me, and I still believe that.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Was this a while back?
That was back in 2003. I got clean and sober back in 2003.
What would... That's amazing. That's awesome, really.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that are struggling, you know, alcohol, pills, drugs. You know, a big one out now is, you know, that fentanyl and the meth is about taking over the world.
In this area, it's really rampant. I mean, it's amazing to me just moving from one county to the other.
Right.
How much different it is.
And what they will do is just anything from going into a trash can to, you know, I mean, it's
I've
just...
seen people like, see, I was lightweight, I guess, compared to that, but I was bad for pills and bad for drinking. I was a horrible, horrible drunk.
What was you, scotch?
No, it was vodka with a splash of cranberry juice.
Every day?
Not every day. Being an alcoholic is not, you don't have to drink every day. But when you drink,
You drink.
you drink to get drunk.
Oh my goodness.
And and I would drink to oblivion. I mean, it got to be where it was pretty much every day. And it was like, I'm not going to do it today. And then.
But the pills and stuff is a different story. The pills has to be every day for a lot of people.
And in some cases, now I'll tell you, I've not been without problems. You know, I stayed strictly clean, and so I had a relapse in, or setback, ever how you want to say it, but I call it a relapse with pain medication. And I got started on that with my doctor.
Oh wow.
Sure did. Because I never had a kidney stone in my life till I went to rehab, and I've had 50 kidney stones since then. I've had about 3 surgeries, and
That's what I got started on at 14. They were prescribing me Perk 10s. When I was 14 years old, 5 knee surgeries, Perk 10s, 180 of them a month.
Next thing you know.
Next thing you know, you wake up 2 or 3 years later taking them as prescribed, and then you leave them at home, and you wake up sick, and you wonder.
They're not working anymore.
Yep.
You got to do more.
Then
I
they
was
get.
doing 100 milligrams a day of oxycodone.
Yep. It got
That's
to
been dead.
it got to where I was doing 200, 300, 400 milligrams a day of that stuff.
It's crazy.
Of the 30 milligrams.
And not feeling anything.
Yeah. And then you got to do 2. Then you got to take 3. And before you know it, you're taking the synthetic stuff, and it's just, you know.
Oh, it's bad. It can get bad.
Everybody goes from the pills, and then they end up in the clinics. That's how it goes.
It's hard not get there.
Right.
I'm amazed. I mean, on oxycodone, how people. I mean, a nurse that I used to work with years ago. I mean, you never guess, she wasn't on any medication until
Right.
she got sick, and she ended up dying. I mean, there's so many people that die of that.
But a lot of people think it's the doctors, but a lot of times, see, I used to go in begging my doctors, begging them, and then They finally, after you beg them enough, they give it to you. So it's kind of 50-50. It's the doctor's fault, but then again, it's kind of, a lot of patients talk them into doing it.
Well, what bothers me now is I'd love to see how many of these doctors, excuse me, have had kidney stones. And if you've had a kidney stone, you need medication.
It's that bad, huh?
Oh, well, I've heard women say that's had babies that say a kidney stone is worse than having babies.
Oh my goodness.
So, if I'd have known that, I may have had a couple.
So what happened? You just pee them out or what?
Yeah. Mm.
And that's the
I
painful
almost
stuff
died
there.
with the last one I had. I was in the hospital, and I had a 50-50 chance of living. That's right before I started the last couple of years.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I got deceptive.
That's
But
incredible.
anyway.
But a lot of people, like I said, my favorite thing was oxycodone for a long time, and then when it quit working, went to Opans, and then I got on methadone and went down that road for 10 years, back and forth, and then it always leads to the street drugs, you know, always leads to the street. It got so bad, I started smoking tar heroin.
Oh, wow. See, I never.
Good.
I'm a.
That's the best worst thing you'll ever do.
Yeah.
You know?
And you think you'll never be able to live. I never thought I'd see the day where I wouldn't do drugs or drink. Ever.
I never thought I'd see a day where I was actually happy to, you know, get up and work and build a business and build an empire and keep going and keep striving and telling people to fix their life. That's the crazy part. You never think that. I would wake up every day and say, well, if I die today, oh well.
You don't care.
You literally
You can't
don't.
stand yourself.
But that's why I always wonder, why do people always go to drugs?
Because you're miserable about something. And I had some things in my past that caused me to be miserable about some things, and then what I just got through telling you about, always feeling like you're not accepted, always feeling like
You're not enough.
something's wrong with you or whatever, and you grow up with all that and feel like even your parents don't like you, even though that's not the truth, but that's how you feel.
In your head, you feel like you're the black sheep, no one cares about
And
you.
I was the only sheep there was in my family, so,
Right.
I was black, white, whatever.
And one thing I found out, most people that are brought up in a really good household become really strung out. And a lot of them I heard OD or die or pass away, or they say the better the household, the more strict.
That's the key
You ever
right
heard?
there.
You ever heard that before?
It's been. I remember when I was 14 years old, and my daddy looking at me, and he said, I've never drank beer, wine, nor whiskey. And turned around at me in the car and said, and you won't either. And I remember sitting right there saying, watch me.
Right.
And I sat out.
See, that's what parents think. They think about them saying no to everything, and you're not going to do that. When you do that, when they turn their backs, you're going to go do it. If they say, you better not go outside at past 9 o'clock, as soon as they go to sleep, you're crawling out the window.
Well, there's a lot of things, and I for a long time put a lot of blame on my parents, but I got taught real quick, like in rehab, that I need to take responsibility for myself.
Right.
And I told my big sad story there, and had everybody in my group crying, except we had 3 counselors. And one of them just leaned back in his chair, threw down the thing, and said, well, I think you're full of shit. That's what he told me.
Really?
He said, yeah, all this happened to you. What are you going to do about it now? And nobody ever talked to me like that before.
Wow.
And that got my attention, because it takes one to know one. People will listen to you if you've been down that road.
Right.
If you've never been down that road, people's not gonna, I wouldn't listen to anybody telling me. So, I respected that. And that changed my whole life right there. I turned everything over to a power greater than myself, and that's how I've lived ever since then.
Well, and that's what I tell people now. Everybody always goes back, to the past. What happened to them? The past. When something comes up about somebody a lot of people bring up the past. I try not to look at the past. It's good to talk about it, talk about the memories like we're doing now, but always look what's coming tomorrow. What's happening now, from right now
There's the
forward.
key. What's now?
Right.
I'm right where my feet are.
People are either too far in the future, or they're so stuck in the past of, well, my husband left me, so now I'm miserable and I'm going to make you miserable, or wife, or whatever it is, and they stay stuck in that cycle. But you have to rewire yourself.
Yeah.
It's very hard. I was very negative for a long time. It's almost impossible to wire yourself, positive, be around positive people, make your circle better, get off the drugs, get off the alcohol, be around all the right things. People don't want to do it because it's time consuming.
Well, I don't know so much that people don't want to. In my situation, when I'm discussing addiction or talking about addiction, I don't know that people can stop themselves. I believe that there has to be some sort of intervention.
Or they don't know how to.
Oh, they don't. I didn't know for
Right.
years how.
Yeah.
But see, I also wasn't going to listen to anything church related, considering what I had grown up with, or that kind of language, considering how I had grown up. And I'm not saying it's not great for a lot of people, because it does work for a lot of people.
Right.
I couldn't understand the language. But there was a place I started going that I understood the language. And it changed my life. It changed the way I looked at things. But I didn't do it.
Right.
I had something greater than me that did it. So, it wasn't me.
So for the people out there, kids, teenagers, or even older people that are struggling with addiction or cocaine or alcohol, is there anything you could tell them to not do it, or ways to get over it, or is it just, what do you think?
Well, they can call me. They can write in. They can do whatever. I can help them. Best thing you can ever do is to get with somebody. Takes one to know one. That's what I know.
Probably we could get them right here on the podcast.
Probably could.
So if they needed help or something, really they could just contact my podcast center and we could all four sit down.
They could contact us. We could talk. It'd be great to have call-ins where people call in and talk to you about their issues like
Right.
that.
Well,
I don't know. That's like swapping,
Well, now that we're new, that's what we're doing, looking for people that want to, come on and, if, like I said, if it's somebody that's a, drug addict, or if it's somebody that's a, multi-millionaire, whoever it is, wants to come on, because everybody has a story.
They sure do.
But a lot of people don't like to share their stories. They're scared of what people will think.
Well, I learned a long time ago on my journey that I'm no better than nobody else, and there ain't nobody any better than me.
Exactly.
And there's no judgment here. I think that's the best thing you can ever, because I've been there.
Right.
I could tell you about some of the situations I've been in and sights of myself. It's awful. You got an issue?
Mike's going in and out a little bit. I guess that's good. Yeah.
We good?
Yeah. My mic was going in and out there for a few minutes, it seemed like.
So, you know, I would watch. I remember watching Super Bowls and stuff, and I couldn't tell you who won the next day, or calling my parents and saying, "We're gonna go hang out tomorrow," telling them all we're gonna do, and then they call me the next day, and I'd be like, "What?"
You know, I used to love when Christmas or a birthday was coming. I used to love when Christmas or birthdays was coming around because my grandma would always send Christmas cards, and I would steal the money out of them and burn the Christmas cards. Ain't that horrible?
It's who you were at the time. It is what you did. It's not who you are today.
So she sent. I got 7 brothers and sisters. So
that'd be enough
my
to
grandma
make me want to get me something.
But she would send $25 in each card. You do the math, 25 times 7, that's a bunch of money.
It is.
And my mom would put all of them on the Christmas tree. The next day I would steal them. And I'd burn them. And I'd act like I didn't know where. And of course by then I had the, whatever drugs I was doing, pills, bought. And I was feeling good, so I didn't care. Man, I used to do anything to get high. Anything.
You will.
One time I stole her last $60 out of her purse, and they all chased me down through the woods, and they caught me. They drug me all the way back down that hill. But I hid that money underneath that root. That's horrible, ain't it?
No, I mean it is.
But when you're addicted,
hey,
when you're addicted, it don't matter. You're gonna get it.
No, you will, and you'll lie.
Cheat.
Steal.
You don't care about nothing, do you?
We sound like a country song.
But I'll tell you what, my drug addict times was the funnest time of my life.
I'm not gonna lie. I had some wonderful times.
I used to love to take 4 or 5 oxys and then go out on the beach. And just not wake up sunburnt where I nodded out on the
Be fried.
sand. Be fried.
No,
Crispy.
I remember the last time I was doing driving a boat, a pontoon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and we were flying too. I need to show you that picture because it's got me moving and dancing, and I weighed about 300 pounds.
God, you lost some weight, ain't you?
A little bit, but I've put a little bit back on in the last few months, but I don't care. It is what it is. I tell my mama every day, you're old, it don't matter. Nobody cares if you're on a diet or not. But she worries about every little pound. I'm not going to be like that.
How much weight did you end up losing?
I guess I lost 40 pounds. Oh, since I got sober?
Yeah.
Years ago? A bunch.
So the pills that
But
make you
then
skinny?
when I had my relapse, I gained a bunch of weight.
Right.
And it was just, you don't even look like yourself when you do stuff like that.
I was 130 pounds. And when I quit oxys and got on methadone, I blew up. 290 pounds. I was 297 pounds.
Wow.
Laying up on the couch. And that's why my show is called Get Off the Fucking Couch, because I laid there. There was one time I laid there, I got pictures of this, with a bowl of cereal spilt over in my lap, 300 pounds, on the couch, because that was my favorite thing to do, was to cut the TV on, get a bowl of cereal, high as I could be, nodding out, and just sit there and eat cereal and ice cream and just candy, and I've done that every day for years.
And you can't love yourself like that.
No. But long as I had the pills, I loved myself. You think you do.
Right. But how do you feel about you today?
Oh, it ain't even in comparison now. Now the goal is to let everybody know, like when you see the other side, when you see that green grass and you see that you can lose that weight and go to the gym and eat right and have the right people around you and start your own career and business and do good, It changes your whole. You finally realize, why did I waste 20 years?
It's so hard just to jump off of that. You're like at the top of the slope there. You just can't get down. But there is help out there. People just don't know where to get it.
Right.
When
Well,
you're
it's
in
like,
that
I call it,
addiction.
it's like the Rock Hill. You climb to you have a mission. I bet you've done this a bunch of times where you start drinking a bunch of water and you say, I'm done doing drugs today. And you go all the way up the hill, the Rock Hill, right when you get at the top of it, where you're almost there to where you're off of it, and you turn around and you walk back down and you get back on the drugs. There were so many days I would quit for 3 or 4 days, drinking water and going to the gym saying I'm done. And after about 72 hours, I'd start, the withdrawals got so bad I'd relapse again. The longest I ever went was 5 days. And I was sick. I was about to die. I was about to shoot myself.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Well, that could be dangerous.
You ever
Something
you
like
ever
that.
withdraw that bad?
Um,
Where you literally felt like
that I was dying or something?
I've been to the hospital
No,
several times.
my tongue got really big and numb one time when I was I just did cold turkey on everything and quit, and I couldn't, that's probably the worst I ever felt. Except for, no, I'm not telling the truth. I don't think I can remember the worst I ever felt.
I used to take Benadryl just to get me nodding out. Ain't that crazy?
That is
I used to drink straight
I used to drink
liquid
NyQuil.
just to try to get me, What about, what was that one everybody was doing? They were washing the coating off of it. It was called, yeah, I think it was NyQuil or something, but the pills. And people would eat like 20 of them at a time.
Man, it's hot. You hot?
It is a little warm, isn't it?
Burn up.
That's the ecstasy kicking in.
Can I touch it?
I'm fuzzy. I remember those days too.
Well, at least I remember my days now.
Yeah.
They're few and far between, but at least I remember them.
Boy, they're called Blue Dolphins. I'll never forget them. Ecstasy pills called Blue Dolphins, and the Crowns, Blue Crowns, triple stacks. You take 1 or 2 of them, man. I remember driving down the road, closing my eyes, and I could feel my body coming out of the car. I mean, it was just amazing.
That sounds like mushrooms.
But it wasn't. This was ecstasy, though. I just felt so.
I know, but when I did mushrooms one time, nobody told me. The very first time I ever did mushrooms, nobody told me how to do them. That you're just supposed to do a little cap or whatever.
You ate the whole bag.
I sure did. I sure did.
You still tripping now, ain't you?
I am. I did not know any better. So I took the whole thing, and I went to bed. I'm like, well, this ain't doing nothing to me. So I went to bed, and I want you to know that I leaped out of that bed, slung those covers back,
Lord.
and said, we got to go somewhere. And I took off somewhere. I decided I needed to get out. And the road just would come up, like a racetrack, would meet me. And the colors were incredible.
Like you was at a rock star
No,
concert.
it was the colors were just so incredible. Now, I wouldn't touch those things.
Would you do them again?
No.
If I had one cap
No.
right now.
Mm-mm.
Really?
No.
If you ever were to do another drug, do you know what it'd be?
Oh, yeah. Of
Really?
course. Mm-hmm. Sure would. If I could do, it doesn't, I still, now, it doesn't bother me to be around people that drink. I literally cannot stand to smell it, taste it, whatever. It's just, I'm grateful that addiction or whatever you want to call it's been removed from me.
Right.
But I will not be around, pills, yeah, I can't be around that.
You gotta tear you
And
up.
all my doctors know, everybody knows, I've told on myself, so I couldn't get anything even if I wanted something.
Really?
And I've set myself up like that.
Wow.
You know, but, cause all my doctors know, I'm an addict, I'm an alcoholic, I'm in recovery. There you go.
And that has to be hard even still, because you probably still, people still go back and say, you know, I'm in recovery, I was an alcoholic, I was on pills, just like I did, and I thought you start thinking to yourself, well, what good am I? That was the hard boat for me to get over for a long time, was finding your place once you get off of it, because you don't have no friends, because all your friends are on drugs, all your friends are on pills, or whatever it is. So when you get clean, everybody's gone.
Well, you gotta change, as they say, your playmates and your playgrounds.
Yeah.
You know, and I learned that real quick. The very first person they asked me who I wanted to invite when I was graduating from rehab, the so-called little graduation, and I told them, well, it's this one, this one, this one, this one. They said, "Are you crazy?" I said, "Well, that's who I hang out with." They said, "Not anymore." So I came home, and these were people I hung out with since high school.
Wow.
And they didn't like it, but I had to do what I had to do to get well.
Right.
I mean, that's the only thing you can do. If you want it bad enough, you'll do it.
And that's with anything.
It is with anything. But if you want help bad enough, and you want to make a difference, and you want to change your life, you will ask for help.
Right.
But that's what you don't do, that's what alcoholics and everybody else, or anywhere. You don't, and nobody wants to ask for help. I hate to ask for help.
Everybody if people would just get over their ego and just say, you know what, I need help, how can you fix me? I would have paid somebody 50 grand if they just could have took that, cured me. And everybody's like, but they're not going to say, well, I need help, I'm on drugs. Because they don't really want it. Yet. They want it, but when you want something, you're going to do it, so.
Well, I think lots of people, the main thing is they don't know how.
They don't know how
it's
to
amazing.
live. I remember I used to think without dope, I said, I don't want to live because it makes me feel so good.
Mm-hmm.
But there's people that don't know just don't know. When you go to the other side and you see the lifestyle, and you have friends that are, that have nice cars and houses and that are living really, really good, and you get a taste of that becomes your drug. You see, when I started going to, Carrie's house and stuff like that, and I saw a $5 million home and his boats that look like yachts and these very nice things, I said, I want that. And then that becomes your heroin. That becomes your addiction. But that's a good addiction, to become more, to become better. You never can become, too good, I don't think. You can always keep progressing.
Well, for me, what you were talking about, there's no room for ego. And if you're going to get better,
right,
your ego has to go. And you pretty much have to start right down here.
Yep.
Like with anything else that's worth anything in life.
You have to
Start
climb
at
that
the
ladder one step at a time.
You start at the bottom. And you're not going to be good at it in the beginning. The only thing that you got to remember is don't drink and don't do drugs.
Right.
It's the only thing you got to remember. That's the only thing you have to do perfectly.
Right.
Other things, you're going to falter, you're going to fail. But, that's just the main thing. And you'll get better a little bit. I've heard that And I believe that's true for me. Wherever you stop, whatever age you stopped doing drugs and alcohol is where your growth is stunted at.
Right.
That's where you start out. So technically, you asked me, I just had a birthday. So if you really want to know how old I am, I'm about 17 or 18. That's
I'm 14.
There you go.
Because I got strung out
We
at
should
14.
hit it off well.
So that's what's the matter with me.
That's what happens.
Wow. And then I think you start aging again once you get clean.
You do, but you got to start. You start back at that age. If you started at 14, how long you been clean and sober?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I quit all street drugs and stuff like that. It's been, let's see, 2, 4, 6 or 7 years.
All right. So you're a
If not,
ripe old age of 21.
wow.
That's about
Now a lot of things make a lot of sense.
That's what I'm saying. If you think about it, it's about right.
Really, things make more sense now.
Well, I'm glad I could come on here and help you today.
Well, see, we're gonna have a lot of episodes and all kinds of stuff going on. GOTFC is just getting started. And that's why I wanted to name it. Get off the fucking couch. Because whatever you want to do, you got to get off the couch, get off the phone, quit scrolling, get outside and build what you want to have. Whatever you want to build. If you spend 2 years around the right people, you can have anything you want. But you have to do it every day, 7 days a week. But if you want it, but you can also have everything you want in 5 years and do it part-time. Or when I say that, I mean, we're talking big stuff, but you can fix your life and fix everything in 3 to 6 months if you just, make time for it and start hanging around the right people. You'll be surprised when you start hanging around people. That was like Brian, how stupid he acts, right? I hung around him a few weeks ago, and he was acting like a kid, and damn if before the end of the day I was acting like him. So see, whoever you hang around, you start becoming and acting like them.
Well, sometimes you can dumb down.
Right.
You do better. I remember my daddy when we used to go golfing, he'd say, I can't golf worth anything when I go golfing with you. But he's like, when I go with people that's better than me, I do better.
Right.
That's just the truth.
Well, that's why, I always say too, if you're the smartest person in the room, you better go find another room. So what that means is if, you don't want to be the smartest one in your circle, because then who are you you're not learning off anybody. It's like, if you're in the 5th grade and I'm in the 8th grade, you're going to want to act like the 8th grader, right? That's just how it goes. So you got to get in those rooms with the right people and just keep growing.
And stay humble.
Right.
Never forget where you came from.
Yeah. And just keep pushing,
Always remember where you came from.
Because if you're not careful, it'll slowly start fading away. And there's some people that moved so fast that they forgot. And they literally, because they don't want to go back there because that's the bad place.
Well,
it's really not, but.
I can remember having pennies in my mouth in the back of a cop car. And that's what I remember when I ever think that, a beer would taste good today when it's hot outside. And that's really the only time I ever want a beer, but
it's hot right now, ain't it?
That's what I'm saying. Where's my beer? I'm just kidding, people.
Yeah, it's a little warm. Well, Beverly, we appreciate it. We'll be getting on here a lot more. Like I said,
I appreciate you having me, Caleb.
This is only like the second or third episode that we've done. GOTFC is going to grow massively. Like I said, we throw these things, it goes, all the way out to, iHeartRadio, It's on iTunes, it's on Spotify, it's on Netflix, it's on all kinds of different things.
Well, my name's Bev, and I'm sure I'm gonna be getting a lot of requests to be back on.
I'm sure you will. And like I said, people that want to share their story, reach out to us, and you can come get on the podcast and come have some fun with us.
And when you just want to have a good time, reach out to me.
So, well, Beverly, it was great having you. You have a good evening, and we'll see you the next time.
Oh, fantastic music.
Thank y'all.
Bravo.
What do you think? And think that's just the first